The University of Florida is cutting all diversity, equity, and inclusion roles on campus. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law last year which prohibits state colleges and universities from using any federal funds to pay for such programs. The school is cutting more than 24 positions as a result. It will also reallocate roughly $5 million in funds that were designated for DEI programs. For more on this, let's bring in Molly Ball. She's a senior political correspondent for the Wall Street Journal. Molly, so great to see you. So explain to us what the practical implications of this decision are for students and faculty at the University of Florida.
Hi, Nancy. Great to be here. Yeah, well, as you mentioned, this entails the elimination of the entire DEI bureaucracy at the University of Florida, which is, of course, the flagship university of the Florida State University system. So, as you said, it will mean the elimination of 13 full-time positions, also some faculty who were sort of cross-posted to this office, and a savings of about $5 million. It follows that state law that the Florida legislature passed last year, part of the sweeping anti-woke agenda of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has really made this a big part of his policy agenda to counteract what he says is the woke indoctrination that is occurring in all kinds of educational settings. If you recall, the Florida legislature also took aim at the teaching of sex and gender in public schools and some of the readings that were available to students in those schools. So this is part of the same agenda that conservatives have said is necessary to root out what they say is a sort of radical left-wing agenda that has crept into the state's public universities.
What kind of precedent might this set for other states or even other colleges and universities in Florida?
Well, it's not the first Florida university to implement this law. A couple of smaller universities in Florida have already gone down this path. Again, with the law having been passed now nearly a year ago, the universities are just starting to put it into practice. But one thing that we've seen about DeSantis and his education agenda, his moves on cultural policies, is that a lot of other red states have followed his lead. He's really been quite creative in the way he pursues these policies, and it's inspired a number of other states. In this case, with the war on DEI, states like Utah and Texas have now taken similar steps, and they're being considered in Alabama. So we've seen these kinds of laws provide an inspiration to other red states who are looking to enact the same sort of agenda with regard to these DEI policies.
Has there been any kind of reaction so far from students or faculty at the University of Florida, or did they see this coming for a while now?
This has been in the works for a while now. Certainly, there are many who are critical of it, whether within the university or on the political left. The state's Democrats have decried the move, arguing that it is a move against, the words in the name: diversity, equity, and inclusion. The critics of these programs say that they don't actually advance those goals of making the universities more diverse, more equitable, and more inclusive. But critics of these practices say that by eliminating this type of an office, you're making it harder for the university to create a diverse student body and to enable those diverse students to get along and to learn in an environment that is safe and is equitable.
And have administrators indicated that they plan to do anything to address those concerns, even if it doesn't look like the old DEI program?
Yes, the administrators at the university, in issuing this memo implementing this change, have said they continue to want to foster, a safe and inclusive environment for all students, and they will seek to do that in other ways, just without there being a chief diversity officer and without there being an office of DEI on campus. But they say that they will look for other ways to implement those goals.
Interesting. Molly Ball from the Wall Street Journal, thanks so much for breaking it down for us today.